The DOJ clearly has his fingerprints all over that, but Eric Holder has no problem with what the DOJ did from the sound of it, because he said it was among the worst leaks, among the top 2 or 3 he'd ever seen in his entire career. Here's what he said moments ago.
Now, I'm not familiar with all that went into the formulation of the subpoena. I was recused from that matter, but I'm confident that the people who are involved in this investigation, who I know for a great many years, who I've worked with for a great many years, followed all of the appropriate Justice Department regulations and did things according to DOJ rules.
Judge Andrew Napolitano is our Fox News senior judicial analyst. Your take, Judge.
Well, he has a lot of questions to answer. He shouldn't have been giving the press conference because he recused himself from the case and he wasn't able to answer the poignant questions.
Well, it was on another matter, and he got questioned about this, of course,
right
at the end.
Right. It just happened to follow Jay Carney's press conference in which he couldn't talk about the AP story. Look, the AP story, the government seizing phone records, cell records, home telephone records of reporters is a profound and direct assault on the First Amendment. This administration, like everybody who works for the government, like you and I when we became lawyers, took an oath to uphold the Constitution, which includes the First Amendment. There's only 3 ways they can get these records. They can have a grand jury subpoena them, in which case the subpoenaing entity, the U.S. attorney who presents the case to the grand jury, has to tell the person, we are going for your records. They're not in your custody.
Hello, AP?
Correct.
We're going to go get your phone records.
These records are in the custody of Verizon or whoever it may be, so we're not worried about you destroying them, but you have a right to challenge the subpoena.
They didn't do it.
Correct. Or they can go to a judge, present evidence of probable cause of crime, and get a search warrant, in which case they don't have to tell the AP. They just show up at Verizon's office or whoever the carrier is, and get the phone records.
There's an exception, though, to having to tell them when national security would be at risk at telling them.
Yes.
They claim that this was the case. Even though the AP was reporting on something that had happened months and months and months earlier, they claimed if they told the AP they were doing this, national security would be at risk.
Here's why they can't have it both ways. Because the third way that they can get these records is a national security letter. Basically, a federal agent writes a search warrant authorizing another federal agent to get the documents under the PATRIOT Act. In my view, and in view of many who observe this, and at least 6 federal judges, this is unconstitutional, but it is the law. When they do that, they have to certify that it is a matter of national security and they are investigating terrorism. They already told us this is a plain, old-fashioned crime of leaking.
We got 30 seconds of the hard break, and we're doing the IRS story with Jay Sekulow and a targeted person next. I want to get to that, so quickly. Overbroad, cast too wide a net. Even if they could do it, was it done improperly?
It was absolutely done improperly. They didn't follow any one of the 3 ways that they could do it under the law. They violated the most core protected rights under the Constitution, freedom of